Jump into our map up again. Endpoint on the CT side here for the pistol. The defuse and smoke is in for Russ. Vexed with only one smoke going towards the outside position. Usually you do that to smoke out Secret and try and get some B-site control, but they're looking just to firepower their way to victory. And already a think down on Robin and on Cryptics will certainly prove the point. Two players now lower than 50, only in the opening few seconds. They're trying to vent dive back in. Robin will get the opening kill, but Adam rounds the corner with a P250. Pulse still gets him down, and Robin's holding his own here. 4 kills, 4 headshots down the board for the Endpoint side and Vexed. A very confident start with the dinks up against their opponents. In the end, it was still Endpoint to come up with the kills, all 5 alive for the first.
They needed to make the statement, and that one's hitting the headlines. Fantastic hold for Endpoint. They got dinked up a little bit, but Pulse, what a hold from him and Robin coming through. Headshots abound with those USPs. Perfectly orchestrated.
Yeah, and again, after such a confident opening there from the Vexed side, getting 2 players down to 40 and 11. Beautiful stuff. Force buying their way back in this one here, Vexed. Again, first time we've seen them actually lose the pistol, so we can see the difference in buy strategy. Endpoint like to save and go for the rifles. Vexed want to try and force the issue with Deagles and Scouts and CZs. Then we'll get the opening kill as well. Mezzi again with that Scout. Great headshot started off by him. He's been landing those headshots so far, so consistently today. Robin will pay the price for it with the opening frag. I don't think he's in a position where they can recover that rifle just yet. The hand cannon's also out for the players on the outside position. Link trying to look onto the main area. Pulse plays the contact play with the player up in the rafters. Good positions actually overall from the CT side, but Russ might fall into the hands of Link, not quite. Going towards main rather than outside. Regardless though, trophy room is the real play. It's ramp room they're going to try and take control of.
Playing it slow again. Vexed, this is what we saw from them on the previous map, but finally they go for the execute. Nice shot coming out from Adam. The CZ able to take down Cryptics and leave them in a 3-5 deficit.
This plant should be secured here. Pulse bursting through, trying to tag up one of these players. Eccles will take out Russ. One more kill going in the favor of the T side. This really has been a disaster for Endpoint. It's Pulse and Jenko try to go for the retake. 1 kill in for the SMG. The AUG gives up the ghost, gets down Adam. Looks for Eccles as well. Great recovery here from the CT side, but they do turn it back around. 1 versus 1 for Jenko and Mezzi. The Scout in. The 3K versus the 3K. Who's going to win it out? Smokes up. Mezzi so close. USB against him, and Jenko will just about win out the round. For Endpoint, it was looking like near disaster against Vexed there, but a good couple of frags again. The great recovery from Pulse and Jenko in a 5 versus 2. You cannot fault it whatsoever.
Pulse is popping off. This guy, 2 rounds in a row, has been the absolute crux of their hold over towards this B bomb site. They're very difficult for Vexed to find the opening. 2 rounds now on the board for Endpoint on their CT side here on Nuke. It's a very good start. They need to find a little bit more, though. They need to continue this strength, and they're going to be coming up against a couple rifles this time around. With SMGs, with that Scout as well, it might be pretty tricky for them to hold on, but they're going to give it their darndest.
Nades up, Scout out for Rush, trying to see if he can turn some decent frag back out towards the outside position again. The force buy coming in from Vex will add 3 more rifles to the fold. Flashbangs over, Rush trying to get someone towards the outside, but he's burned to 34. Pushed further back on the CT line. Secret control established by Vex Gaming. A spray in from Link's not going to go well. Pulse with 1 kill. Cray will be able to trade it back. They know where that bomb is. The SMG here in Squeaky will not get anything done. Jenko trades it once again. 3 versus 3 is where we stand. As Endpoint and Vex just can't seem to pull ahead of each other with the manic plays towards the outside and inside areas. Mezzi will lead the charge into the B bomb site. It's only Cryptics here to defend.
They're playing it slow. They've slowed it down. 1 minute on the clock after these initial picks. 3 versus 3. 1 defuse kit available for Jenko and quite a bit of utility in his back pocket. We'll see if they're able to invest that wisely and use it to their advantage and find a little bit of a pick maybe going through. On Vex squad, they don't have too much utility to work with, but both smokes are going to come on through.
I love that.
And Cray able to get the first shot.
I love that. Just open the door slightly to get the information on where that CT is and just adjust your aim and get the kill as you face him for the 2nd time. And then from there, the whole round falls to pieces for Endpoint. Beautifully done there by the Vex Gaming squad, realizing that, obviously they've got the map knowledge above Endpoint. They picked it, and therefore they will thrive on it here for their first round on the T side. I do lose one of those rifles, though, unfortunately. It was a Galil, so it's not too much of an issue, but still a little bit of lost investment, and Endpoint in the end losing the round. See if Russ can grab one of those rifles. Ooh, actually, I was going to say maybe he might have been able to get that headshot on Eccles, but the dink was not enough in this case, so...
Jenko somehow finds himself on 6K.
How?
At the end there. I have no idea how he has managed that, but the rest of the team looking pretty disparate, so potentially dropping over some P250s, maybe a Deagle or 2 to the rest of the squad and go for maybe a little bit of armor purchased up there to try and get something done, but we'll have to wait and see what they do opt to go for. The full buy can come through, though, for Vexed squad.
I'm imagining that on the Endpoint side, they will just get Jenko to drop them pistols, upgraded pistols, and go for maybe a low buy off the back of that. Maybe lacking in Kevlar a little bit, possibly. I haven't seen the specific mathematics. Is that? Oh, sorry, I thought that was the CT side buying the AWP there. But yeah, you can see the AWP coming out for one of the...
Endpoint players.
Actually, sorry, no, wait, that does mean, yeah, it was the CT side, excuse me.
All right.
Making my mistakes.
That must be, yeah, he's got 6K, why not?
Yeah, Jenko. Very, very risky, I'd say, actually. Again, I'd rather go for the pistols at this stage and try and play off the back of the rifles, but no, full-blown force-up. And you can see what that kind of does to Endpoint as well. They'll pass that AWP off to Russ, hoping that he can do the brunt of the heavy lifting, the pistols around it to support it. Admittedly, this is a pretty decently successful CIS-style buy, but personally, in theory, I don't really feel like it holds a lot of value in the grand scale of Counter-Strike. Especially if you miss that opening shot. Russ needed to land that, and now they've got outside control, completely unsupported directly. Robin's going to have to wait around the corner to get down Eccles and read it well. Another missed AWP shot, third phase. He lands the leg shot on Link. He finally gets a kill on Cray, but finally the T-side have broken into the bomb site. So low HP on 2, but I imagine the bomb site will be secure for the bomb plant. The best they can do is try and just pray for the retake, get a couple of these low HP players down.
They might want to push up, but I don't think Russ wants to drop that AWP. The investment there, just a little bit too heavy for Endpoint to risk going back in. You can see the exit frags are lining up, so they're giving this round over to Vexed in the hope that they can take some of those rifles away from them, take away some economic momentum, and just hold it down. But Vexed have got a lot in their back pockets. They've got a lot of utility still to spare. If they keep a hold of that, they're going to be really sitting pretty.
And of course, this will mean again Vexed going to equalize against Endpoint. Very eerily similar start as well to the way that the first map went down. It's just swapped the roles of Endpoint and Vexed, and you basically got the exact same situation. And yeah, Endpoint holding on to that AWP, a very smart play. Else, if they pushed in for that retake, they would have lost it for certain. Actually, do grab the Kareem that was dropped by Cray as well. So there you go, exactly what you mentioned, the plays that they wanted to find. But the money's still not there for Endpoint. That's the reason why I don't like that force buy, especially if you haven't got any lost bonus. If you've got lost bonus, fair enough, I understand why. You can go for another low buy. You can have a bit more to hold on to, especially if you get some rifles together. That opens up the opportunity for the force buy. But because they didn't have any of that, because they only had the AWP, they only have the upgraded pistols, this Krieg and the AWP will be all they have, essentially.
They're changing up the position of the AWP as well. They're sending Russ over towards what looks like ramps for this stage. And the B site take looks to be coming in from Vex, so it might actually come in pretty crucial in terms of that positioning. Playing from ramps with that AWP is really, really strong when going for that B site retake. You need to be able to hold it down, and if Russ can pick up his feet on those shots and not miss them like he did last time, it can be devastating.
Closer control room, the AWP can face up against the... TK's coming in from the CT forces. That actually is going to cost Endpoint big time because that was the kill on the AWP from Cryptix's part. He's going to lose himself a -1 scoreline. 4 versus 3 here for the Vex Gaming squad. They continue to get the frags. The rifle drops out for Jenko. And at this point, it's only pistols that can face. Not much that Pulse and Robin can do except pray for a miracle. It looks like this miracle's not going to come to them today. Bomb plant secured on the B-bomb site, and this is going to be a third for Vex no matter how the post-plant plays out.
That round just fell apart around their ears for Endpoint. Looked like it could have gone one way, but just completely flipped on its head. Nicely executed by Vex yet again, holding onto a lot of rifles, so their economy gaining momentum. That's what Endpoint were trying to stop. We're trying to stall out unsuccessfully this time around. If Vexed are able to get 1, 2, 3 more rounds on the board, this is going to be a really strong start to them. And they could be even on the cards for just winning the whole thing right here.
Indeed, it is a little bit early for me to agree with that, but I do see where you're coming from. 3K for Mezzi, 3 rounds for Vex. Once again, they're going to take the lead here, and Endpoint finally will be up for the buy. No AWP for us this time, no chance to buy it. With the M4s on all 5. Smokes in, flashes over, nades up. And of course, the 3 Krees out for the 2 AKs at the Vex Gaming side. A rifle round coming into play for here. But Endpoint is to equalize for Vex, of course, is to take momentum and run away with it. They've got a pretty decent economy base as well, so they can continue to buy even if they lose this round, covering their position so easily. Smokes up, Adam Molotov's in trying to play off Squeaky. Try go for the Venn dive, perhaps. I mean, Pulse has got a nice gap to work with, and he can take him down as a result. 25 points of health eventually sprayed through the vent. Opens things up for Endpoint. A very risky play for Vex Gaming, and it will not work out for them.
Full rifle round now, but Endpoint trying to take that momentum back. No defuse kits. We saw this style of round from Vex last game, last map. Didn't really work out well for them. We're expecting to see them move a little bit forwards and take the fragging fights, and that's exactly what they did this time around. They were able to take down Adam already, and you see they're positioning themselves a little bit more aggressively into these faces. But with a minute left on the clock, Vex still have time to rotate around. They're holding down outside at the moment. They can go through mini, they can go down secret. Question is which they opt to go for. They're trying to throw in this utility towards mini, so a bomb site looks heavily on the cards, but Robin's there. He might spot something.
Pulse at the back of the bomb site, 45 seconds, Robin takes out Link, looks back in for a little bit more towards the outside, lines up 2, only gets the 1, Echoes with the trade, and now he's all alone. Bomb out in the open, they know exactly where it is, the flashbang might force a quick face-up, spots one of the rafters, but can't get the headshot on Pulse, he ends up with another 2k, and Endpoint end up with 3 rounds back in. Very confident stuff being held there, Vexed, held back off the initial kill. But again, they've got plenty of cash they can just reinvest in, potentially get this AWP out as well. Just going for the regular rifles, actually, the automatic weapons for the Vexed gaming squad. I mean, certainly is understandable why a T-side would opt against the AWP, but even so here, 3-3 rifles in play for everyone once again. More utility for Vexed than Endpoint, though. That might be a pretty crucial point to watch out for. Uh-oh.
Fast take, going for the vent drop. They're able to make it as well. Nicely orchestrated. They have a nice position now. You see they're dropping down to the ramp,
nice.
Try and hold it, but the fast speed of Adam's fleet footwork is going to take him in, get that frag over onto Cryptix and open up a lot more of the map now for Vexed.
We talked about this earlier, the vent dive being such a crucial strategy for the T side on this map. Get straight down in. If you've got a good spawn, you can get the opening kill, you can get control room, you can get B-site presence, and you can just completely split Endpoint up. They have no idea how to approach this, essentially. Vexed ramp room now under their contention. CT trying to go in and flank them from secret and go and reinforce their forces on the retake more than anything else. Russ is down at decontamination, waiting for his teammates to join him. Spots out Adam, but gives up his position. Does get the kill eventually. But again, that's the harasser. That's just the vent dive player. The main T-side force have made their way on the bomb. Can get secured here. Mezzy knowing that decontamination just got opened up. Russ can't find him, finding the Molotov. The bomb plant secured. Cray going to keep them away on Endpoint. 40 seconds for the retake. One player has been spotted. Russ now down to just 17 points of health. Mezzy knows that he's got the HP advantage. The flashbang will go over. He takes him down. Takes the thing back for his trouble. But now it's Cray's chance to strike against Jenko. Deals with Kim. Pulse with a trade all the same. He's got to get a 2k though, and he's got to get it alongside Robin, who's taking point on this hit at the control room window. Smokes up. Pulse through the double doors now. Low HP for Cray. He's the only man they can deal with, and he will go falling back to 2 versus 2 will go. They're running out of time though. Link with a quick kill, and now it all rests on Robin. Low HP, tapping that bomb once, and Link with a perfect peek and a perfect headshot all the same. Vexed, a great post-plant position, and again, all down to the key player of Adam. He got the vent dive, he got the control, and allowed the rest of his teammates to run away with a round. Nicely
used utility strategy. They hadn't displayed so far in this half, so it was a little bit unfamiliar to Endpoint. They should be able to figure out how it's going to be played around this time, though. If Vexed opts to go for that again, they should be ready for it. They should be able to adapt into it. The question is, will they be able to, on the fly, do so? Because, as we saw, Vexed a little bit better on the adaptation, potentially, especially on their T side. So, changing things up, mixing it in, that's what you really want to see.
Another thing to take into account as well is, do Endpoint even have the money? Remember what their money line was like prior to that round? I haven't got the loss bonus to back it up, I don't think, either. Maybe a little bit will be there. We'll have to see specifically in a couple of seconds where the money line falls and where the buy-ups will go from here. Obviously, a quick tactical pause. It seems coming in from the Endpoint side. Yeah, just Imi giving them a quick hype talk, pep talk, all the clapping going on over on that side of the stage. Trying to get them hyped up with his experience. And yeah, that buy is not going to be good for Endpoint. Upgraded pistols. Going for the rifles in the next one, so this should be another one for the Vexed Gaming squad. So unfortunately, you know, you kind of mentioned about how whether they'll be able to counter it. Have to focus on that in the next round because Vexed are looking like they're going to have a confident 5th on their board.
Slow and steady for Vexed is the storylines generally when it comes to these upgraded pistol rounds for Endpoint, but they're not putting the brakes on this time around. They're going straight into mini and over into A side.
Link with a kill, Robin with a trade. Russ and Robin also fall to the hands of Eccles. Nice and easy from him. Cryptix and Jenko. Last 2 players standing. Cryptix, backstab actually could take down Mezzy and Eccles. I mean, this could actually be a decent position to work off of. Jenko playing best distraction over at Heaven. Smoke's ready to clear. Molotov's coming in. Cryptix making his way in. Adam will spot with the very edge of the smoke. So yeah, going about as well as you would expect a round like this to go here for Endpoint. Vex now know where the last player is, and Jenko will try to force the fight here against Adam and get them down to 27 points of health, but not go much further than that. I mean, decent damage being done to the Vex side, Mezzy on 2 HP and everything, but if they just went a little bit further and got those kills, then Endpoint would have come out with a very good round. As it stands though, 5-3, Rifles coming in, AWP for Russ, 3 M4s, Robin to buy another one, and go for the Kevlar with a little bit of utility.
Russ was really strong on this AWP over on Overpass. This time around though, has to be said, a little bit lackluster coming in. Missing a lot of those AWP shots on the outside, getting taken down early over onto ramp. So this third attempt at it, really going to be clutch for Endpoint. We'll see if he's able to land the shots and do the work for his team that he was able to do before and return to form. But Vex Gaming, they make their way slowly out towards Secret. Their B sites have been pretty clean so far. And with 5 rounds on the board, if they're able to take this one home, I said 6 rounds was going to be the tipping point for me on that T side.
Such good smokes as well. Perfectly placed from Vex. No gap left in. Even though Robin was watching it, he could not see any of the T side forces. So they've got Secret control. They are down in the B bomb site. It's Cryptic's the main man to defend against it. He fluffed earlier, taking out Russ with that CZ in one of the earlier rounds. He pushed far back in. He's got no more teammates to take out with him. Instead, Link will just deal with him. The 5-on-4 scenario ensues. Outside control established by Adam will deal with Pulse. Keep that man advantage. Robin does get the trade. The bomb should get planted relatively soon here. They're playing carefully around this. Again, they know that Russ is here with the AWP. Mezzy trying to challenge and make sure he doesn't land his AWP shots here. He actually does catch off Eccles instead. Deal with him. Look back in for Link on the flick. It's not going to work out for him. Again, the man advantage stays to the favor of Vex. 3 versus 2. Cray makes it 1. Jenko, last man standing. Can't deny this bomb plant. Probably can't get this retake together. The flashbangs will go over. And force the issue against Cray, but in the end just throws in the towel.
They give over that 6th round. Double scoreline on the T side of Nuke here, Jamie. Really, really strong stuff coming out from Vex. They're opening up their map pick really, really well. That's exactly what they wanted to see. And this is the best start that they could have hoped for. You can see they're 2-0 up in this best of 5 series at the moment. So if they're able to take home this pick, then, well, they're going to take home the whole series and crown themselves as the champions of Insomnia.
Yeah, indeed. You know, again, you've got to stress the issue, of course, with the Endpoint setup is the fact that they are essentially down by 3 maps. So they've got to get 3 to try and get this under their contention. And you know, it has to start with this one at the very least, but so far, kind of as we were going, you know, talking about the Vex T side and how adaptable it was, how very reactionary it was. And again, those win conditions we mentioned before the map, we went into the map, 6 rounds for the T side, and Vex might have just won it already, according to our predictions at least. And they may even get a few more, you know. Endpoint, M4 in for Jenko, 5-7, Deagle, PT50 CZ, lacking in Kevlar on 3 players, lacking utility on everybody. And Vexed, of course, with those rifles, should be able to force the issue out on this round on paper, and Endpoint, again, things are just looking so dire for them right now.
Holding those shift keys, walking real slow over towards the ramps, no resistance being found. Endpoint stacking up over onto the A site, expecting the take, but Vexed, they go to B, and Endpoint, they might look to drop down, might look to contest, but Jenko might want to just wait in the wings, wait for those exit frags. In this situation, Adam first to face, but Robin actually able to get the best of him with that 5-7.
1 kill for Endpoint. They're all suppressed though. They've got the stack going. I think Link reads this as well. Jenko does get a kill on Gray, so actually this might turn around. 5 versus 2. 2 Krieg still in for Link and Mezzy as Link tries to force the issue, knowing that they're there. Kit. No defuse kit is right. If they could hold out for a little bit longer, Link lines up the spray on 2 headshots, tries to turn around with a 3rd, but I think they may have just about done enough here for Endpoint. The defuse will come through 10 seconds. Yeah, they've got time for this one. Yeah, this is on. This is going to be a 4th for Endpoint. So couple of decent opportunities coming their way, and again they took them all down. Vex just couldn't hold out for long enough. The defuse kit not being necessary for Endpoint, it seems.
No, but it was very, very close. It was, you know, a couple of seconds off being impossible for them to get there. Vex Gaming not quite able to hold it down. Link not quite able to get that massive spray over towards control room that he was looking for. Did do pretty well, but in the end, the flank coming through from Toxic was just, from Decontamination, was just a little bit too strong, and was able to take them down. A nice round for Endpoint to pick up, put themselves in a little bit of strength, and they trade it 1 for 1. Adam and Pulse killing each other.
Yep, from beyond the grave, Adam gets a Molotov kill on Pulse. Robin, however, deals with Mezzy and Link, and not quite Eccles, but close. on the HP. 3 versus 2 scenario favoring Endpoint. Now they're starting to look like they're going to get started on the CT side. Eccles and Crazy with a little bit to work with. He catches Russ very edge of the smoke. A tiny little bit of pixel being seen. And now Cray will start to work as Eccles gets another kill on Cryptix. Jenko flashed out and they go to the B bomb site. A great recovery from Eccles. 3 kills on his part. The bomb can get planted on the B bomb site as Jenko finally deals with the main man. 1 versus 1 now. Cray knows where he is. And decontamination door is open. Cray still going to set up for it though. Watching out for this position. Jenko, flashbangs, flashbang smokes and nades. It's a little bit that he can work with. He can smoke out the bomb site, but no, not expecting Cray there up on the rafters. Rounds that corner, loses his life, and Cray with a little bit of BM as well gets the 7th on the board for Vexed.
Back into the rifles now. Endpoint have enough money to be able to buy into the round yet again. The defuse kit was there. They learnt their lesson, but they weren't able to win out the frags this time around. Again, the outside smoke's being dropped just a little bit, but they turn it on over, maybe looking for this vent drop yet again, but ramp seems to be the order of the day. Cryptix will face, has that MP9. Might just be able to get something done if they're lucky, but the spray's going to be crucial. Drops down, very disciplined from Endpoint.
And I'm going to round the corner to Hell, try and flush out the CTs that might be lurking in the wings. Meanwhile, Pulse taking damage from Eccles down at Squeaky. Cryptix backs up to the B-bomb site. Very nice angle you can play with the SMG. It's a bit open for my liking, but it has worked in the past. It can work again. Vexed aren't going to go that way. They're going to rotate back to the A-bomb site. 2 players to defend it. Pulse here on Hut. Jenko up on Heaven. Molotovs in as they make their way around. Manic sprays and Pulse will spot out 1. Jenko gets a kill. Pulse trying to double up here, but Link will deal with him. Mezzy with a quick trade. Robin also trades it back all the same. 3 versus 2 scenario. The bomb yet to make its way in. Mezzy going to plant safe at the back of the bomb site. Molotov on towards Heaven to make sure no one will peek up there. So, retake mode for Endpoint. They have a defuse kit on Robin. Russ is glass cannon with the AWP though. Of course, the SMG for Cryptix now swapped out to the AK, so firepower now going their way. Endpoint have the advantage in this one, but it all comes up to the timing. Again, Vex trying to stall for time more than anything else. Guy's face, headshot landed by Cray, now turns around towards Heaven, as his teammate's going to have to watch out that main area instead. Mezzy will take the challenge, Russell will go down, Robin trades 1 versus 1, one more time. 3K for the winner, smoke on the bomb, and he can stick the full 5 seconds. Mezzy's got a peek, he's got to go around the corner right now. He's spraying, he's just going to catch it as well. Just about held on there by the T-side player. Vex will be able to win the half at 8-4. Ballsy play still from Robin at the last second, though.
It was the right play to go for the stick. I think maybe,
absolutely, you're right.
Maybe swapping over to the other side after the smoke had bloomed might have been a little bit smarter. Try and tuck himself in just that little bit more, but it's very difficult to figure all of that out. You don't know which path he's going to take. You don't know which side he's going to peek. So you have to hedge your bets in some respects. But 8 rounds on the T side for Vex Gaming on their map pick, on Nuke as well. This is a really good spot. You can see Coach at the back, he's smiling.
Yeah, he's loving this right now. Imi, on the other hand, on the other side of the Endpoint side, he's trying to get them motivated. He's trying to get something going out here because, you know, again, this is a CT-sided map. This should be Endpoint at 8-4, not Vexed. And they are just having a ball of a time over on that red half. How can they turn it around is the question that Endpoint are asking themselves. How can we break this? Because the firepower has been so good. Again, reactionary T side. They've got to react all the same on the CT side because they're just getting mauled. You know, they're just getting mauled at the moment, and they don't seem to be able to find a response for it whatsoever. You know, the defensive sometimes come up good. They do get these clutch moments when they win 1 versus 1s, but overall, Vex still end up winning them out regardless because all these players are looking on point. You know, the kill differential is pretty tight, 7-10. Endpoint, they've got Pulse popping off, but every other player needs to kind of step up around him because things are starting to fall apart here for the boys in blue. It's Robin getting aggressive, Eccles reads it, so well done from Vex, and Pulse, small gap in the smoke, can't spot them, so close against Craze, right there, the crosshair was right above the T-side player, but no cigar, again, Endpoint, so close this time, just couldn't make it happen.
They still have the fallback of those 4 players playing with those pistols. Vexed have slowed it down yet again against these upgraded pistols we were saying before. That's what they tend to do. That's what they tend to try and find, because they know players like Jenko will start to wrap around, but it doesn't look like they're checking it.
Oh my God, he's got every single player in his sights. They have no idea, but Eccles turns left at the perfect chance. That CZ could have been so pivotal. He waited too long, got a bit greedy, and in the end gets the information for his teammates. But with the firepower that Endpoint have, there's not much they can do with it. 5 versus 3 retakers. Russ and Pulse end up falling. Cryptics will get one on the way back out, but that might be as far as he goes as Vex start pushing in to shut him down and take him out. Flashbangs in, completely blind, back to the T side. He could have actually gotten a kill actually at very close range, but unfortunately not to be. But yeah, 2 kills against the Vex side, 9-4, round 14, and things are just looking so good for the T side.
This is momentum. This is what we were talking about in terms of that crucial element of gameplay. The confidence that these guys are displaying in these fragging situations, just coming in clutch so many times. It's Vex Gaming now on the verge of victory, of course, 2-0 up, match point. They're looking strong to take this one as well, and with an opening frag, they're looking to put double digits on the board in their T-side half nuke.
Oh, Mezzy just recovers against Russ, jumping up, lost his spray for a little bit. Robin does get 2 on the outside position. He's backed up now by Cryptics. The A site is open. I don't think Vex realized this just yet. Playing around this, Cray will actually join him and Squeaky go for the vent dive down to the bomb site, but Robin catches him off, drops that bomb all the same. That's on the A bomb site as well. It's on the upper floor. So once again, Endpoint have bought themselves a chance, and Robin is going ham. 4 kills to his name, looking for the ace against Adam, and he gets it as well. Great round from him, again to recover for the Endpoint side. A much-needed 5th going on their board.
Able to stop that bomb going down the vents was so important. Robin doing so much work for his squad and just preventing that double-digit scoreline for now, but Endpoint, they still have a run for their money. Vex Gaming, they can buy up. They are on 2 MAC-10s. They've got quite a lot of utility, but Endpoint, they're struggling as well. Everyone a little bit down on their luck here, so non-optimal setups coming out from both of these teams. As Endpoint now looking to stack it up. Last round of the first half as well, so this is really going to decide how comebackable it is for Endpoint.
Is that even a word, comebackable?
It is. It's spawned from winnable, and it's comebackable. It's like the next level down.
I'm just going to assume at the moment that you know what you're talking about.
Sure.
It's Robin down towards the B tunnels, ready to receive the T side from Secret. They are stacked in with the Vex Gaming side, again using those smokes to get outside and get the control that they need. Cryptics over at the double doors flank, Robin over at the decon flank. Got 1 player over in the lobby as well, might get aggressed by the CT forces. Keep your eye on Adam's position. Not sure how crucial he'll be, but the real hit comes in from the main T-side force. Cray down the corridor, Robin catches him, drops that bomb, gets a second frag as well. He's starting to perform massively as Pulse lines up a collateral headshot on Adam and Link. The FAMAS very rarely gets the collateral, but today it's going to be effective for Endpoint. Mezzy alone in a 1 versus 4 for this final round of the half. Looking like he might have to concede this one. Trying to catch off Pulse. There's a little bit of damage, but now the information's been given up and he's not gotten a single frag for his trouble. 30 seconds with flashbangs and nades coming in. He will evade them. Does get the kill on Pulse. But again, just 14 points of health. Endpoint.
Seconds.
Yeah, and 25 seconds as well. Obviously, the bomb's on the way on the B bomb site, so he's got no time for this one. Got to force the kills. Ooh, gets 1, but doesn't get any more than that. 6-9 favor to the boys on the Vexed Gaming side. Again, though, we go back to the grand scale of things. Although it was good and confident from Endpoint towards the end of that half, the fact of the matter is that Vex still won the half on their T side. That's not a good look. It never is a good look for Nuke.
Have to turn it around. 7 rounds now stand between Vexed and victory. 7-1 rounds.
Yeah.
Stipulate that, but into the pistol now on their CT side. They've got 2 decoys coming out, actually. Going to be thrown on in for Vexed. Interesting purchases coming on out. Mezzy. Going to use that tactically later. We'll see how they invest that. Instead of going for the defuse...
I do hope you're being sarcastic about
I'm being very sarcastic.
Right.
I did hope that came across.
Well, the real utility is on the T side for this one, because Vex have not bought any of any value. Just straight up Kevlar and pistols. Try and force the Angels. 2 smokes, 1 Molotov, 1 flashbang. I assume Russ bought a second flashbang that he used it and get some early entries in. As Endpoint play around the lobby. Got 1 player on the silo. Robin trying to put those smokes out. I think that was the one actually used towards the
Russ used the P250. No, wait, that's the P2... No, that is the P250. So he did buy that up, so I won't have that second flash.
Okay, fair play then. Smokes out towards decontamination, meanwhile as the utility used towards the upper bomb site, all to fake out Vexed Gaming, get this bomb down, set up the retake, and look at Robin's outside flank. They've read this as well for the Vexed Gaming squad. They will be suppressed for a couple of seconds, but they will deal with him efficiently. Opening frag favor the Vexed side, but again, Endpoint have traded that out for map control and a bomb plant here. 5-on-4 scenario. As Endpoint get ready to receive. Vexed all coming in from Secret, contested by Russ, gets down 1-2. Eccles trades it, Jenko and Pulse here for the crossfire.
He's got the decoy.
So well played for Messi. We'll see if he can decoy Endpoint out of the bomb site, but I doubt he will. Facing in now, they know exactly where he is, and he's got no real chance of this one. Flashbangs over, no defuse getting played for the CT forces, and Endpoint will claim the 7th. A crucial, important pistol once again going their favor.
Jenko picked up the decoy on the end of that round, immediately just threw it away. It's like, what is this? Who's done this? Unfortunately though, Vexed Gaming take the loss on the pistol round. A nice one for Endpoint to pick up. They start off well, their campaign is going good, but they've got a long way to go. They've got a mountain to climb, and especially on T-side nuke, on your enemy's map pick, not the best of situations.
There's 2 scouts in for Mezzi and Eccles. We saw how efficient Mezzi was with landing those shots earlier on during overpass. Might have another chance to do some serious work. Nice nade in though. What a start from Vex.
Not too much damage found though. I was surprised there wasn't more.
I think it was because Pulse had half of his body behind the silo itself, so I think the nade damage was kind of a little bit dispersed out and didn't really land 100%. If he was up there towards the corner though, that would have been a very easy kill. At least damage done to the Vexed Gaming side. Another great nade down. There's a little bit of damage to Cryptics and the scout towards the outside over on the part of Mezzi. Will damage up Robin to kick things off. We'll try and fall back as well as Mezzi gets over towards the B tunnels here. 60 seconds left and Pulse up towards Heaven now. No one there from Vexed Gaming to contest. They're just down in Heaven, in Hell, excuse me. And during the locker room's positions, Cray will try and make his way outside. The Eagles up. 2 players to spot. Damage being done to both, but no kills.
Cryptics able to take it down through the catwalk. 48 seconds left, so they do have to start to think about committing somewhere. Adam does go down and they open up the A.
Oh, but Link.
Oh, nice.
That was a good couple of headshots, and Eccles can come in swing wide. It's now down to 2 players left, and it's all Cryptic sprays up, and they've got it. Eccles and Mezzi, fantastic stuff, and Link on the bomb site as well, the main anchor player for Vexed Gaming. What a round from them. They had no business winning that one whatsoever.
That's disastrous for Endpoint as well. Coming off the back of a pistol, they invested all of their money with double digits on the board on their CT side. This is where Vex can gain that momentum that they had in the first half. They can start to pick it up, and these rounds could start to fall like dominoes.
Yeah, I'm just... Again, they shouldn't have lost that. They shouldn't have lost that whatsoever.
Mental fortitude necessary for Endpoint at this stage.
It does, yeah, especially after like the shots that were put up by the Vex side. I think it just going to speak volumes as to how good the shooting accuracy of those guys is. Again, those Deagles only really one-shot headshots is the best thing that they can do essentially. So the fact you've got to land those headshots in such a high pressure situation in the part of Link essentially turned that whole round around.
Absolutely.
And Eccles with that scout, Mezzi with the final. Again, great team play playing around the A site defensive, and Vexed poised to win now. Again, they lost that pistol. If they lost the conversion, then maybe we could be a little bit closer. But now, again, as you say, they've reset the economy of the Endpoint side. There's not much money to play with. I imagine an eco would come out here. It's going to be a force play, actually, with Deagles and Scouts. I guess they realize the desperation on their part as well. Let's hope that Pulse is hitting his shots just as much as well. 16 kills, second top fragger on his team behind 21 of Robin. But everybody else on Endpoint pretty low on those kill counts.
Deagles to try and devastate the Vex side, find the openings. It's going to be pretty tricky though to get much more than maybe 1 or 2 frags for them. They have to get disciplined on these pushes. They do have 2 smokes. They do have 2 flashes, so they can potentially go for a take. They invest one of those over towards the outside, I believe. That flash coming in, and that's a good way to start. Okay, Mezzi goes down over towards ramps. The move in goes towards outside, but Eccles is there in the warehouse to receive the push.
You hear the players, he does now. He's running against Robin here in those Deagles, here in those flashbangs. Another headshot landed, 2 more players around him, and Russ will be able to deal with him all the same. That's actually both of the main rifles out of play for Vexed. You're going to cover those and use those on the part of Endpoint. Russ with an AK, Cryptics with a scout, Cray now with an SMG up close and personal against Russ. Spots him up his position, and Russ can turn it right around as a result. Now they make their way in. Adam with another SMG up close, gets down 1. Not quite the second. It's now an SMG versus SMG scenario, and Cryptics comes out on top. It's Link left alone. 1 player on 5 HP. That's an easy kill. And our Vex going in the vent. Oh no.
Dear.
This is playing perfectly in the hands of the last man. And Endpoint once again disappointed as Vexed. They didn't even play around Endpoint. Endpoint just played right into their hands going up those vents. What a disastrous move and a disastrous call by the T side.
They served themselves up on a silver platter on the top of the ladder. Accuracy obviously not there whilst you're on the ladder. You just can't fight that. There's no way you win those. Link, he plays on the A bomb site. I'm not too sure what the read was. There was potentially a call that came out that said, oh, I think he's down towards B.
No.
That is a huge nade coming out for Vexed as well.
Follow-up from Adam takes out Jenko. Sit down, boys. Just get wrecked towards the outside. Russ will try and contest, but this is already round over. He'll get one good kill out of the way. Oh, man. It just gets worse and worse for Endpoint. I just don't even know how you can recover this.
They can buy up into this rifle round. Vexed Gaming, they are riding high right now. 12 rounds on the board. They've got everything they could ask for. Their power is there. No AWPs, funnily enough, on their CT side just yet. They haven't chosen to go for that investment. They did have the opportunity to. Eccles was flush with cash.
It's quite funny because I think Mezzi's actually had more scouts than he's had AWPs in this round. On this map, I should say. Eccles, first frag, second frag, not quite the third, but it doesn't matter. He's got the information, he's got the kills and the man advantage for the Vex Gaming side. Once again, just pushing up slowly and silently, and Endpoint having no idea that he's so close to their line, not checking that angle. Again, it's the second time they've made that mistake in this series. 2
players down. They're kind of isolated towards outside. Jenko going for a long flank over towards ramps in control room. He might opt to push out here, and this might be the option that Endpoint end up going for. They aren't going to be facing Link, I believe, who is in... No, is he in the A site, or is he tucked in the corner?
I think he's on the A bomb site. He's watching out the hut, it looks like, from here, so there's no real contention here from the CT side over at the ramp room. It did look like Link was over there, though. I do see why you made that mistake. It's a bit awkward with the map being so small, but yeah, I digress. 45 seconds on the clock. Endpoint. Jenko will lead the charge here. Very slow charge, but they have found a gap in the fence. I don't think Vex realized that they've left this part open. Cray will finally start to adjust and move in with the M4 over at control room, but how much damage can he get done? Well, not much. Cryptics with the taps to the headshot will deal with him. They'll know that that bomb is making its way to the B bomb site. 3 versus 3. The plant will come through. Vex do have a man advantage in this case. Jenko just evading disaster against the likes of Link. Flashbangs over, and he should get outflanked. Link with 1, Pulse with 2, though. Up against Adam with the last man standing, and he gets 4 in total. Great stuff from Endpoint's main man. He has popped off in this map. 20 kills for him and 21 for Robin. They are having a fantastic time, but again, I have to highlight the rest of the Endpoint players. 8 kills, 9 kills for Cryptics, Jenko, and Russ. What's happening, boys?
They're not quite stepping up. They're not hitting those shots, unfortunately. Pretty tricky to do so, but as you say, Pulse has been so pivotal for the rounds that Endpoint has won that they rely on him so heavily. Robin as well, able to pick up the pieces, but I feel like Pulse is really, you know, the star of the starter fragging there. We'll see if he's able to continue it. 8 rounds for them, 12 for Vexed. They open it up, and there we go. Robin's going in first. It's his turn to try and carry this round, but there's still 4 players to get through. Not too much weaponry to be looked at, though, for Vexed. Interestingly enough, Cray only on that Deagle, only on that Kevlar. Doesn't have much to play with at all.
Adam down. Forced buy out for Vex. They can't really afford to lose many players, but Eccles will turn the M4 on towards Russ and deal with him. So 4 versus 4 scenario. Ramp room contested. I think Vex is starting to push into this. Check out the angles from Mezzi. Cray making his way down to the B bomb site. Meanwhile, we'll just try and make sure that no one makes their way in from Secret, and Mezzi is dealt with by Jenko. Great deagle up, but they do line up for him. He gets that kill, or gets damage with the SMG. Now Eccles constructed. Only 1 going his way, though. Cray and Eccles both dealt with. It's all left to Link. Rotating back via the B. Well, I was going to say via the B rotations, but not to happen for him. Pulse will catch him off once again, another kill going his way. And Endpoint, pretty methodical and slow style, picking apart the CT side this time.
You asked me what can Endpoint do to come back into this one. Well, win 2 rounds on the trot with some fantastic frags, with some fantastic coordination. Their T side starting to ramp up now, and Vexed, there might be a little bit of worry just eking into their mind. You were talking about the kills earlier. Cray is on 7 kills. Lowest kills in the lobby. So Vexed Gaming have their downsides as well. Maybe it's because the rest of the squad are just stepping up and taking them all away, potentially, but still not the best of showings coming out from one of their players. So if they can find those weaknesses, if they can find those openings as they did in those previous 2 rounds, that's where they can start to come back in. Adaptability, that's what we talked about on Nuke.
Eco for Vex for the time being. Once again, the smoke's out towards outside. A bit of a gap here for Robin. It's a bit dangerous there, the Deagles. Unfortunately, they don't. It's just basic USPs. Dinks down on towards Robin. At least will take him to 50, but he'll make his way into the secret area. And then that bomb back over to that B bomb site. Really not much the Vex can do. Again, they're mostly focusing on the rifles to come up in the next round. That's what the full eco is all about. So Link, Eccles down. Mezzy trying to challenge Pulse towards the outside. Again, just tap and pre-firing. Not finding anything again. The T-side have made their way downstairs into cover, into hard cover. Oh, Cray here on the bomb site. You might be able to do a little bit of damage. Pulse still with Mezzy. Adam gets dealt with by Jenko. And 2 players close range positions. There we go. Russ catches him off. Eventually spots him. Eventually takes him down. An Endpoint now within 2 of the Vexed Gaming lead. Here come the rifles for the CT side.
This is going to decide whether or not they're going to be able to storm it on out. A lot of money in the back pocket for Endpoint is going to give them power for the next 2-3 rounds. But for Vexed Gaming, this is where they can stop this equalizer potential coming on through. If they put that 13th on the board, it's going to be pretty strong for them in terms of their standing into the rest of the game.
Ooh, Robin then dives his way down. We talked about how crucial that was for Vexed Gaming. This time, going to play a more passive style, just get that map control here, John.
They do find it. Very little damage as well going over onto Robin for a vent drop. 57 HP left, so he's really going to be a big thorn in the side of Vexed. And they're going to have to worry about that threat consistently throughout the rest of this round, unless they can find it, unless they can find the frag on the back. But Endpoint, they're mounting up what looks to be a ramps push.
And the bomb is out there. They have made 2 players actually just down there as well, towards those B tunnels. Obviously Robin with the vent dive, and Russ has now made his way into the secret, so he's going to support this player. Mezzy is distracted. He's going to focus on those B-site players as Cray's left to deal with the ramp push that's coming through, as you say. Here come 3. Jenko out, awkward spray as Cray trying to run to the left-hand side, completely skewing his entire accuracy. He will fall. 2-for-1 trade. Jenko spots 1 more man at the back of the B-bomb site. Link and Eccles with not much left in this one, it seems. Endpoint will make their way onto the B-bomb site, get that bomb plant down eventually, and Link and Eccles are just going to throw in the towel, fall back to T-spawn, and save their 2 rifles for round 24. Sure,
yeah. They're just falling in step. And that's going to allow Endpoint to look for this equalizer. No money really in the back for Vexed. Means that they're going to be on those MP9s, on those Deagle shots coming through. We've seen them do it before in those situations. We have had that come out, but it is pretty unlikely to see it time and time again. Endpoint will be pretty happy with his performance. They are starting to mount it up, and it seems like T-side nuke is pretty good for both of these sides, as it turns out.
Apparently so. Again, surprising us all, because again, CT side is where you should have the strength. Vexed causing a couple of good kills out from the Endpoint side, but not enough to deficit the economy by a massive amount. Endpoint have plenty of cash to work with. They need a good round victory more than anything else.
They don't have enough, really, for Vexed.
Yeah, a pause will come through. I assume this is tactical for the Vexed side. I would have saved it for another round when they would have had the rifles together, but they also would like to try and stop Endpoint from equalizing. So that'd be another thing to think about here. Regardless of the tactical has to come in at some point here, because Endpoint have been catching up once again to Vex. It's very similar to how things worked out on Overpass, where Endpoint was starting to catch up and then Vex eventually pulled away. So now this is the time to use your tactical pauses. Now's the time to try and stop things and slow things down and figure out how you're gonna approach things, because, well, they are only a few rounds away. 4 rounds in total for Vex to win the championship here at Insomnia 65.
It would be pretty devastating to be so close to their victory and have to go to map number 3.
Yep.
Be a real dampener on the mood, but they're going to mount up. A couple of Deagles being thrown on in for Vexed. They got that CZ in the hand of Link as well. We've seen the headshots come through. Can they do it again? Endpoint, they're mounting up full rifles. They have everything they could ask for.
Just flashbangs out towards outside. Pulse will drop on top of the hut. Adam. Eager then trying to watch out that squeaky area. He's completely uncovered here. Goes down passive. Cuts about his pulse. Can't get the damage done.
You've got to hit those.
You've got to hit those headshots. Cryptics will punish him and Mezzy as a result. Cray will try and recover again, going towards heaven. And Adam will try and adjust, looking at a main. With Link, sees out towards the lobby area, spotting out 1 player. Jenko will just damage him up a little bit. see. Well, Russ with the shoulder bait. Actually, nice read onto where he was going. Cray with 2 headshots to fine. He just chokes it. Focus on one man and get those kills as appropriate. Link will finally get a frag on the board for the CT side, but now way too many players. The bomb can make his way to the B bomb site. He's trying to look for Pulse, who's low HP, and in the end, he just turns his back to him just as the peak comes through. Great timing from Endpoint. 12-12. They've completed the comeback here, John. Now, how far can they take it? Can they take a lead away from Vexed?
Will they be able to trade map picks? That's the question. But the rifle round now coming out for Vex. They've been pretty weak in terms of their buys for the past 3, 4, 5 rounds. So now is the time for them to step up. No helmets being bought, 2 defuse kits. So they are trying to scrimp and save and get every advantage they can. Mezzi on the AWP, looking to try and take those rifles out of the hands of those Endpoint players. Again, a very nice nade. Eccles playing up close. Down in secret, gets 1. Looks for a second, finds 2. Beautiful start to the round. Sprays a lot of damage on.
Done enough. He's been traded back 2 for 1. Cryptic's on 7 HP, Russ on 73, and again, a man advantage for the Vexed Gaming side. That nade, that spray, perfect combination now for the Vexed Gaming squad. Can they keep it going? They have gained the B-site access on the part of Endpoint. Jenko still lurking here towards Squeaky as Endpoint don't commit too far forward of Secret, and Cray is playing very passive on that B-bomb site. He'll let them get all of the tunnels control, but that could allow for a rotation. Again, Jenko is in Squeaky, so they can work off the back of this. Cryptic's probably going to play Sacrificial Lamb. First man out, Adam watching on towards the main area. I'm not sure if he's got the left view model or the right view model, but as you can see, it does obscure his vision on towards the vents. The Squeaky door does get opened up, smokes and flashbangs over. Jenko spotted, the spray is awkward, and Jenko takes him down. No man left on the A bomb site, but Link will rotate up, get himself 2 quick kills. Cryptic trades it back, and 7 HP to the 1 versus 2. He's got himself 2 so far. He will need the 4K clutch against Vexed Gaming. He's playing carefully, so slowly at this stage, with 30 seconds to go as well. He hasn't got time to waste. They've got players in heaven, players rotating up over on the B bomb site as the bomb plant will be secured pretty open. Now it's Cray's chance to strike, but Cryptics will get the bomb down first, get into Hut, playing passive around the cover. Look for the headshot on Mezzi. Spray's not going to be enough. Nades in against him will not take him down. It will do some damage, but in the end, Mezzi will catch the angle, and it will be Vexed with the 13th, denying Endpoint the lead. Good effort from the T side, but just not enough today.
And they have limited. They only survived 2 players through that round for Vex, which means that their economy, again, not very strong. Endpoint can fully buy on in, and they will be against a weakened Vex squad yet again. We'll see if they're able to take it back. Bring it even once more. Looks like this one's going right down to the wire, Jamie.
Especially if Endpoint win this round, Vex will not have, as you say, any money to fall back on, so. SMGs for Adam. Rifle's got to do the carrying for the rest of the Vex Gaming side, especially this AWP on Mezzi, which likes to take first contact against Jenko. The flashbangs will go over. I think he just evaded that vision a little bit here. Endpoint establishing a little bit of outside control on Robin, playing out this cubby corner here. Plenty of time to work, of course, for the Endpoint side. The default's just in play, hoping that Vex go aggressive, hoping that they try and outflank them. But so far, CTs don't want to bite. They're just going to play their standard outside and inside angles. 2 players on the A site, 2 players over on ramp, and 1 more watching outside. Most of the AWP was watching outside, but it's mostly just to rotate in and hold down the B bomb site as soon as Eccles spots anybody going towards Secret.
Mezzi's just holding there for so long. He knows the flashbang came on out. They're trying to flush out towards A site. They might look to go for that as well. They're isolating positions, making sure that people can't be playing on those close angles so that they can go for these peaks in just a moment. Robin's still on the outside there. Ooh. Adam's going to be aware now of exactly what's going on. Robin in through Mini, but Adam's nice and safe and sound in the hut. He pushes out.
With a kill back, looking for a second. Cray gets 1 on the trade, 3 versus 2 as Endpoint do break into the bomb site. Nice nade, perfectly placed on both. Flashbangs in, Cray trying to drop out as he spots his teammate's face in the right-hand side. Jenko down, Robin down, 2 quick kills coming up, and Russ with a tap to the headshot. 1v1 for the 3K, it's all up to the HP, and Russ swings wide, gets him down, clutches it for Endpoint as they stay alive, back in at evens once again.
I'm expecting upgraded pistols from Vexed here. They can give 1 round away. They do not want to give away 2. You can see they are going to be just thrown on in, but Endpoint in with a real shout here. The T side, we talked about how CTs on Nuke traditionally a little bit stronger, but both of these squads have been turning up. They've been adapting. They've been changing up how they're playing and finding those openings time and time again.
It's quite surprising to see as well. You know, again, we said before the matchup, if we're saying our speculation was that if Vex got 6 rounds on that C side, then things should all end up going towards their favor, but Endpoint might make us go to another map. Deagle's out, CZ's in. Couple of pieces of Kevlar for the Vex Gaming side, but not a whole lot in the grand scale of things. Again, Endpoint have the rifles to work with. The outside control can get established so easily. Maybe Craig could get a couple of picks here and there, but the Molotovs coming in will force him out as Adam is the first man to fall in the hands of Jenko all the way into that lobby position. It's a nice start once again for Endpoint.
Cray is there looking for the headshot onto Robin. Doesn't quite find it. Only a little bit of damage through the wall as Link falls as well. So Vex now down a player. They find one, but that's really all they're getting. 2 players now remain on the defensive CT side. Cray spots them out and
he
immediately...
doesn't even want to take the shots anymore, man.
It's like whack-a-mole. He comes up, he's like, oh, nope, I'm going back down. Not going to have it. But Cray goes down either way. So does Eccles, and Endpoint now 14 rounds on the board. Comeback really going strong.
This is where things get tense for Vexed. 14-13, as you say, Endpoint have brought this back full circle. They have a lead, and they will take a timeout for it. A couple of AKs coming through. Robin could potentially buy the AWP. I mean, they could buy whatever they want. They've got so much cash sitting on their side. Meanwhile, the double orb setup has come in, and Cray's got that on his hands. I'm not going to lie, I'm not trusting in this at the moment. He's got the lowest kill count. He's been missing a lot of shots, especially with those deagles when he brings them out. Like, I'm not 100% sold by the spy, I don't think, John.
We'll wait and see how it turns out. But I'm inclined to agree with you on that. A little bit of a fist bump, Endpoint. They're keeping their cool right now. You can see how laser focused these guys are. Imi pumping them up, getting them ready to frag out. This is the first time Vexed have been behind in the scoreline as well. Endpoint now taking the lead away from them. If Vexed lose this round, that's pretty much going to be curtains for them. They are on basically no money. The loss bonus isn't going to be stacked up. They're going to have a real tricky time. They will be on just pistols or SMGs if they're lucky for the next time around. So it is really crucial for them to be able to pick this one up. But either way, Endpoint are going to be able to buy every round from now on. Yeah,
they are taking advanced angles here. Someone holds the gaps here in the fence of the T side, but Robin's made his way out towards Secret regardless. Russ starts to make his way in over to the ramp room. No one here to deal with. I say that, Eccles on the boost, and Pulse will be able to take him down for the quick trade. He will lead us back into the B-bomb site. Jenko is there to follow alongside one more, the bomb on the back of Cryptics. There's one player in the control room. Craig gets that orb shot nicely done from his part. Jenko now knows that there's one CT here. He's got to wait for backup though, and no one else from Vex can keep him here. You could get bracketed in so efficiently. The flanks have come in, a war on 2 fronts for this AWPer. He's running out of time though. Cryptic spots some of the backstabs, knows where Adam is. And Cray now knows that we've got a few more players to deal with here, especially over towards this ramp room area. 45 seconds, the bomb's yet to go down on the part of Cryptic. He's got to cross, he finally does. But where does he plant it? It's very, very open on this bomb site. 40 seconds to do so. Robin's got decontamination room as well.
They're slowing it down now.
Yeah.
33 seconds left. They need to move this bomb into position pretty soon. Cray going down, that's the go sign. 3 versus 3 now, looking for the retake. No defuse kit available, crucially for Vex Gaming. They haven't bought one up. They're looking for the A bomb site. They don't even know where it's planted, it seems. I mean, they're checking out the angles, but I feel like they figured it out now. Are they going for the save?
No, they're in the ramp room. They're going down. They're going for this.
They have no kit.
No kit at all, you're right about that. It looks like the patient play from Endpoint might have just worked out for them as Jenko takes out Adam Mezzi trying to round that corner, trying to take him out and stack, but Jenko ends up with a 2K, and Link last man standing. Jenko going to face him, do some damage. They are out of time. There's no way this is going the way of the CT side. Endpoint looking for map point, and they will find it here. Vexed, very miscoordinated on that retake. Again, players up on that A-bomb site. And they just waited so patiently on the Endpoint side again to get that kill on Cray, to keep him suppressed, to make sure he didn't make his way out of the control, didn't deny that bomb plant. As soon as that kill came in, the bomb can make its way out of the site. And Vex started second-guessing themselves off the back of that.
That was absolutely a fumble from Vexed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should not have happened that way. But now they're down to the SMGs, like we said. It's really lackluster, but are they going to be able to find the frags? You can see they're pushing 2 players towards outside, towards Mini, to try and hold it down. A little bit more aggressive this time around. They have got a kit. Cray has bought one. So they will be able to get the defuse if it comes down to it. But Endpoint right now on the verge of taking away Vexed's map pick and keeping themselves alive in the series.
Outside control again established by Endpoint. Very lack of resistance here from Vexed. Got Eccles towards the outside. And that's about as far as it goes. The only man there, again, just to spot and call out rotation. They make their way around. Pulse spotted, Dink down, 5 HP in. Now they have the information. Flash bangs away as nades come in against his position. He's still trying to look for a kill and gets a load of damage on the Cryptics. It does set up the trades, but Vexed need a bit more. That was their main rifle as Krago's falling as a secondary kill for Mr. Cryptics himself. 55 seconds remaining. A 5 versus 3. This Pulse so close as well. Adam has no idea about this man. He's hearing reloads. He's hearing players all around him. He's finding spots out. Pulse takes it down. The Cryptics all the same, but Cryptics with a 3K. And Link and Mezzy, last 2 players standing. For a miracle at this stage, they will take down Jenko. That's one with the UMP. Got to look for a second. They line up for Link. He may have saved it, but not to be. Cryptics just holds on to the 16th. As Link got within inches of keeping this one alive for Vexed.